In the last video, we have compared singletons to dependency injection as a way to get access to the things that we need in our app. And we have decided that we should put all the Firebase authentication code inside a new class called Auth. And Auth is going to be the first of a number of services that we will define in our app. So the next thing that we are going to do is to define a new folder called services. And inside here, we're going to add a new Dart file called auth, like this. And here we can start by adding a class called auth. And this class will define 3 methods, and they will all return a feature. So we're going to add the methods definitions first, and then we're going to implement them. And we are going to start with the first one, which returns a feature of type Firebase user. And this is called current user. And it is an asynchronous method. And in order to use this, we need to remember to import Firebase auth. And then we can add the second method, which also is a feature that returns a Firebase user. And this is going to be called sign in anonymously. And this is also an async method. And finally, the third method will return a feature of type void in this case, and it's called sign out. And it's also an async method, like this. Okay, so these are 3 different methods that we're going to use to replace the Firebase authentication codes that we already have in our code. So let's go ahead and implement them. And in the first one, I can type return await Firebase auth.instance.current user. And in the second one, I can type final auth result equals await Firebase auth.instance.signin anonymously. And I need to return auth result.user. And this is what we have to do because this method returns a feature of auth result, but we want our method to return a feature of Firebase user instead. And finally, we can add the signing method, and here we can just type await and then Firebase auth.instance.sign out, like this. Now, one thing that I'd like to point out is that for now, we only had these 3 methods, but as we will see in the future, we will also add support for other signing methods. So rather than calling Firebase auth.instance inside each of these methods, I can just store it inside a variable that I can reuse in this class. So to do that, I'm going to type in final underscore Firebase auth equals Firebase auth.instance. And now that I have this, I can use this as a replacement for this code. And I can do the same here and here. Okay, so we have now created our auth class, and each of these methods is calling the corresponding method inside Firebase auth. So let's continue on the next video.